how can we learn to fulfill our potential and help our kids achieve the same? Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to have you guys here today, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. Welcome to our family, welcome to our community. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you go do so and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post, because I post every Friday. So on this channel, I like to talk a lot about communication strategies for parents, dealing with grief and loss, tools for social emotional learning, mindset challenges, stress management, and just so much more. So if parents watching, or if you're interested in that, make sure you go check out some of my other videos. I recently just uploaded a emotional management mini course. So it's a little playlist on a video series of a bunch of different topics on emotional management. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, I'm going to leave that link down below as well. So if you haven't already seen by today's title, today we're going to be talking about how we can adapt a growth mindset and help our kids achieve the same. And if you're new to this channel and you don't really know about my backstory, I'm just going to talk about that briefly because it really pertains to this video in a couple of ways. So I think a lot of my challenges and my struggles growing up, and even in my early adulthood years, mindset was always an issue for me. And learning to view mistakes not as failure but rather as a growing opportunity was something that I'd had to learn the hard way, unfortunately. And a major part of that stemmed from the fact that my communication with my parents, mainly my mother, was not ideal. And a lot of our challenges together and a lot of the things she said and did to me really mattered, and it really affected my beliefs about myself and my beliefs about my struggles and the world around me. And so that's something I want to talk to you about today. Our messaging that we send to ourselves and our kids. Why it's important, because every single thing we say and do sends a message to our kids and to ourselves if we're doing it to ourselves. Now, if you guys know me, you know that I like to do a lot of research on a topic before I film a video. That's really important to me, and I want to get the most out of every single topic and give you the things that are necessary and that are really going to be beneficial for you. So in today's video, I really adapted some of the topics I'm going to be talking about from Carol Dweck's mindset book. She is like the mother of psychology and mindset in general. So if you haven't already checked out her book or you're unfamiliar with her work, I highly suggest you do. It's super great, not only for parents, but for teachers, for coaches, for anyone who is teaching something to someone else. Another big one is going to be Angela Duckworth. So I've talked about her book, Grit, in a couple of other videos in the past, and I'll try to leave them linked down below. But her work mainly stems from grit, and grit mindset and success all really go hand in hand together. So that's why I'm going to be using those principles that they talk about in this video. So like I mentioned, every single thing that we say and do sends a message to our kids, and it sends a message to ourselves. So it really tells children how to think about themselves, and it tells us how we think about ourselves. So when you're parenting someone, or when you're coaching someone or teaching someone, it matters what stance you're coming at. So in the growth mindset, you're saying that you're a developing person and I'm committed to helping you develop. But in the fixed mindset, you're saying you have permanent traits and I'm judging them. So it really matters what you say. And sometimes we do this when we don't even think about it. So some of the messages that we say when we're either praising them or disciplining them can give off the fixed mindset. So to give you an example, you could say something like, "You're so brilliant, you learn that so quickly." But the child hears, "If I don't learn something as quickly, I'm not brilliant." You could also say, "You're so smart, you got an A without trying." But the child hears, "I don't have to try in order to succeed at something." Or, "If I don't succeed at something, I'm not smart." So it really makes a difference when we say those kinds of things that are permanent to somebody. So saying like, "You're lazy," or even "You're brilliant," tells them that. So the next time they do something that follows that pattern, they're going to adapt that fixed mindset that, okay, that's the person they are and they can't change that. But the reality is we can. We can change that. We can adopt a growth mindset. And in order to do this, we need to be willing and committed. We need to be willing to learn more about ourselves every day. And that's something that I struggled with a lot, and it led me to a lot of failures and a lot of times where I just felt like giving up, or even in college, trying to get my degree, like procrastinating and just feeling like a failure when I made a mistake, or all of that stuff. And it wasn't till I think it was my senior year in college when a lot of things happened family-wise, and I just really needed to step away and kind of take some time for me, because I saw things that were reflecting in my work ethic, and I just couldn't be fully focused, and I just really had to understand myself more. I really had to think about myself and think about the world in a different way. And so in order to achieve the things that I really wanted to achieve in life, I had to take that leap. I had to drop everything and say, okay, like I need some time to refigure out whatever's happening up here and just kind of take a look at things differently. And that's what I did. I started writing and reading a lot of self-help books and personal development. And I just realized that, wow, some of the things that I thought about myself are just not true. And I can change that. I don't have to think that I'm lazy, or that I'm not smart, or that I'm not good enough, or that there's something wrong with my body. I can change that. And if you learn to change that, you'll see that your kids can also adopt that mindset. But you can't help your kids achieve a growth mindset unless you are not willing and committed to achieve the same. So I'm going to give you a few examples of something that might be helpful in order to help your child achieve that growth mindset. So right now, something on parents' mind is the fact that kids are just really not willing to do assignments, and they don't want to do virtual school or homeschooling or schooling in general. I think the times right now are really crazy, and dealing with that in a kid's perspective is the last thing on their mind. They're thinking about all the things they can't do, the people they can't see, the life that they used to have, and everything else. And it's a really stressful time for kids. And it's also making it a really stressful time for parents, because parents have to do so much other stuff. And then on top of that, they have to make sure that their kid is getting the best education that they can. And so I think right now it is extremely important to adopt a growth mindset. So not seeing these things that are happening in the world around you affect what's going on in here and what you can actually do to help yourself and achieve your goals, whether that's education or whether that's something that you just love to do, a skill that you love to develop. So coming back to assignments, a good example for this is when you see your kid struggling or getting really frustrated over an assignment or unwilling to do the assignment, saying things like, that looks really frustrating, or that looks really hard. Is there something I can do to help? We're in this together. I want to help you. I want to help you learn and grow and develop. Or if you see that the assignment looks boring and, you can see that they don't want to do it, and you probably wouldn't want to do it either, you can say, is there something that we can do to make this more interesting? Is there something that, we can make it more fun? If it's a hobby they like to do, like, say, a video game for younger kids, say a video game. Like, life is just a video game. Assignments are just like a video game. What skill can you develop, or what thing do you have to put in your toolbox in order to achieve this next step? So doing things like that make it more interesting and help them understand that this is something fun that they can get better at. Just learning anything in general. We should all view it as a way to grow and expand and just love to do. Whether or not it's something that we are good at or not, we should love to learn. And you can help them achieve that, and you can help yourself achieve that. Right now I want to talk about how we can help you guys as parents achieve that growth mindset. So something I definitely have to mention is the fact that changing your mindset is very difficult. And the ways that really helped me understand how to achieve my own mindset was learning more about myself and my thinking patterns. What do I think about myself? How do I view the world? And that was something I got through writing. And I always talk about journaling on this channel, and I always talk about how important it is. And it really is. If we want to understand how to change our thoughts and our beliefs, we have to know what's going on. So we have to put those thoughts that we say to ourselves on a constant basis, the worries that we have every day, we have to write them down and acknowledge them. Because in order to change those things, we need to know what they are, right? There are a lot of thoughts that pass my mind on a daily basis that just go out the window. In order to stop that from happening, we need to acknowledge that they're there, and we need to know how to change them. How can we find new ways to talk about ourselves? So the way that you would talk to your kids about adopting a growth mindset is the way you should talk about yourself. So giving yourself little pep talks. That's what I do, especially in the car when I'm by myself. I'm probably going to be talking the whole way there, giving myself a monologue about how to prepare for this event that I'm going to, not now because of COVID, but just speaking to people in general. I do a lot of self-talk before I speak to you. I probably did it before this video. And so that was something that really helped me. Writing in general really helped me. Reading in general really helped me. So I think a couple of books that I want to mention that would be really beneficial is, again, Carol Dweck's Mindset. I think those 4 books are probably one of my top books that I would say really helped me understand what was happening in my own head and really how to help me move towards things that were going to help me achieve my goals and help other people around me achieve their goals, like what I do now in my coaching. So those are the biggest things that really help me, and I hope these tools really help you, and I hope you can acknowledge how important a growth mindset is when we're trying to achieve our goals, and how we view success and how we view failure. And this is such an important concept right now, because when there's so much happening up here, it feels as though you can do less. And so I really try to remind myself that I can't control the outside. I can only control what I do and my thoughts. So just to recap today's video, we talked about how to adapt a growth mindset. And the 3 biggest keys is to watch out for your messaging. Watch out for the things that you say and the things that you do. How we can adapt a growth mindset ourselves in order to help them achieve the same. And some of the really important messaging that we can use as a parent to help our kids achieve that growth mindset. And before I end the video, I just wanted to quickly announce that spots for my one-to-one are opening up. So if you are a parent struggling with your mindset, or struggling with your confidence, or struggling with your communication or connection to your kids, I really urge you to sign up for the free consult. You'll get a lot of value out of it, and you'll probably see a little bit more clarity out of your situation. So if you haven't signed up for the consult, I urge you to do so, and I'm going to leave that link down below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys got some use out of it, as always, and I'll see you next week.